Hey, what's up, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening process. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 different ways you can cope with the loneliness factor of your spiritual awakening process. Just a couple days ago, I sent out an email to my newsletter list and wrote a blog post, and it shared a few different coping skills that people can use when they're feeling lonely. And there was such a high response that I wanted to share the same idea with you guys, and even added a couple of extra points if you've already read that. By the way, if you guys aren't a subscriber to my email list, all my videos in the description box, I leave links down below if you're interested. It's free, and a couple times a week I'll hit you guys up with like a blog post style email sharing similar content that I share in these videos. Number 1 is to accept the role you chose to play here. It's like, I imagine in a classroom setting, the teacher, they can't really click all that much with their like group of high school kids, students, right? It's like, I'm over here, there's like 40 people in the room, I'm just this one person. And when it comes down to me connecting with all these people, it's difficult because they're the teacher. And then there's the students. Most of you light worker folks, people who are awakening early, there's a reason for it, because you're in some way an example, a wayshower, a teacher. And it's just the reality of the situation. But I know that's not easy to digest. I didn't accept it at first. In fact, I shared a story in my email where I remember in like 2011, I went through a lot of what you guys go through, where everything started breaking down. Relationships just started falling out of my life faster than I could imagine. And it was very shocking. You know, very long-term relationships suddenly just dissolving for one reason or another. And I felt like you, very alone. So my wife and I, we traveled to Sedona, Arizona, which is like a spiritual mecca. It's like a city where there's a lot of supposedly spiritual, like higher conscious people. And I thought for sure, this is going to be my tribe. I'm going to find my people and it's going to be all gravy. So I was very excited, and I went into all the different psychic shops and all the different crystal stores and so forth. And I felt just as alone there. There was a lot of people playing like spiritual roles, you could say, like a lot of people into spiritual things, but I felt just as alone. I could tell right away that most of the people I came across weren't really experiencing what I was going through, this like crazy ass spiritual awakening process, and I felt just as alone there, if not more lonely, because I had all these expectations and they were pretty much shut down. So it was kind of a low for me. It was a challenging thing to accept, but accept I did. And finally I was set free because I realized that if I'm not going to find my people, my tribe here, then I might as well give up and accept the situation as it is. It can be more painful to attempt to bring others up to speed to get your own communication needs met. It's a hard thing to accept that, you know what, it is what it is, but it is what it is. Leading me to point 2 that can help you. Purpose. There's a purpose. There's a reason why you are who you are, living the life you're living now, feeling temporarily alone, because there's a higher purpose going down. You guys signed up to come help the planet. Planet got the Gaia. You came to help Gaia. You came to help people. You came to help raise the frequency of the collective consciousness so that it may not head down the trajectory it's been heading down, which is for an epic disaster on all levels. Business as usual. Things don't change. It's not going to look good. You came to change that. You came to come in here, wake up early, raise your own vibration, and then inspire others and just infect others with your higher conscious energy just by you existing. And is it lonely? Yeah. But what can help you is not looking at it from the perspective of you being lonely. Looking at it like there's such an amazing thing, so much bigger than myself, that I'm playing a very big role in. And in that I can see why I would have maybe chosen to come and participate in that. And that can help with the acceptance. Number 3 is to have patience. Because it is this way now, but I'm just going to share with you. This is not the typical kind of message I share. Most of my videos are kind of, in a sense, like channeled ideas. I don't even consider them my own, but this is just going to be more a report, something from Victor Oddo's end. I'm in a position where I work with people. I put myself out there as like an awakening guy, right? So naturally, people find my YouTube videos and they reach out to me. Well, I am in a unique situation where I can notice trends and waves. And there have been big waves of a ridiculous number of newcomers saying, dude, I'm a lawyer. I didn't know anything about the crazy shit you talk about. I'm not even a spiritual person, and yet I'm going through this. I relate with your videos. What do I do? So there have been these waves, at least since I've been on YouTube, where there's a massive influx of newcomers. And these waves are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And they're going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, just as these waves keep coming in more and more and more powerful. So for a time, you might feel alone, but people are getting up to speed faster because of the path you're carving. I use an analogy of like a dense jungle. Humanity's gotta cross this thick jungle, and you guys are the ones with the machetes, getting picker bushes you're getting cut up, and you're like slowly trudging through this super dense ass jungle with the machete, and it's slow going, and it's not fun, but guess what? People are like going to start to notice the paths you've created. They're going to keep funneling in, and it's going to be easy. So they're going to catch up very, very quickly, and they already are. So have patience, because pretty soon you're going to find that there's a lot of people who relate with you, and the more like negative people will become slowly but surely the minority. Okay? So just have patience. Trust in the process. Number 4 is to focus on the similarities. As many of you know, I recently took an amazing trip to Costa Rica for this ayahuasca retreat. And there was a large amount of light worker type folks, people that would probably resonate with my channel. In fact, a lot of them knew me and they watched me and they were into this kind of thing. And there was a lot of different people were there in very different situations. Most of the people were there like very in the beginning, where they're just trying to like find their purpose and find their place in life, and they have a feeling something's not right in their life. Then there are people who are a little further along, kind of going there just to kind of heal themselves, and everything in between. And when I went there initially, I saw it through the eyes of segregation. I really connected with all the teachers and like the shamans. I wanted to hang out with them, and I did a lot. But as I went through this process, I was so humbled by this ayahuasca. Basically, that was one of the messages. Like, listen, buddy, you're not special. You're a human being. You have light years of growth ahead of you. Don't get cocky. And after that one crazy ass night, I felt changed forever, because I realized that the slight variations and where people's consciousness are very minuscule. Essentially, we're all human beings, basically embodying a human ordinary state of consciousness to maybe some little bit of varying degrees. So I realized after that night that there are 10 times more similarities than differences. But if I focus on the differences, I feel so different. I feel so, my vibration's different. And then I create that segregation and that ostracizing sort of effect in my life based upon the way I choose to view others in relation to myself. So from that point forward, I have focused on similarities, and since it's been a lot easier to mingle with everyday people, at least for me. So it has helped me immediately not feel so alone, because we're all pretty much on the same page. Lastly, it's just a little bit of a reminder that there's going to be a lot of people that embody a similar state of consciousness as you, having a similar vibrational frequency, but it might not be relevant for them to come into the kind of information like light workers and ascension and star seeds and fourth density and waves of volunteers and all that kind of stuff. So as far as you're not going to probably run into a lot of people just like that, at least like in your subdivision or at your job. You're lucky to have one or two. I have my wife, which I feel blessed, and I have one friend. That's pretty much it. Some people I've been kind of meeting in Vegas now that I moved here, but few and far between are like the stereotypical person who is like a volunteer soul, like most of you guys. But there's plenty of I digress. There are plenty of volunteer type souls like you, but it's not relevant for them to come into this kind of information. Therefore, you won't connect on an intellectual level as far as exchanging ideas, but you can resonate with people and build very deep and profound relationships. And in retrospect, I can look back at my life and see a lot of my soulmate types of friends I've had come and go out of my life. They would think what I'm talking about here is crazy, and yet they have that light, that same light that is attractive to me, and my relationship with them was amazing. So just understanding that you don't have to always have the same opinions and so forth as other people to really connect with them on a heart, deep, intimate, beautiful level. So that is all, my friends. It is my hope to give you at least some of the things that I've learned along the way. I've come a long way from feeling lonely and different, and now I feel like, again, the longer I've been on this, I feel more the same. I feel like there's less differences than ever before, and I really believe it's a lot of having to do with my own personal perspective. And if this video can help you alter your perspective and reduce your feelings of loneliness and hopefully help you manifest some other cool people in your life, then I would say it's a job well done, and I'm pleased with the result. So I wish you guys well on your path. By the way, some of you guys might know I do have an online coaching program called Awakening Together, and it's a community-based program. So if you guys are impatient like me and want to meet some high vibration folks immediately, there's always links down below in my videos that explain, or where you can check out more information about that if that interests you. Okay, but nonetheless, you guys have a kick-ass day. Thank you for watching. I wish you well on your journey and your path. Namaste.